Hello and welcome to Sloss and Humphries on the road. Daniel is away on tour, so I'm filling in for him. And me and Kai, I think this one goes out on the day of the Queen's funeral, so me and Kai have been sat chatting about the reaction to that. We've been talking about smart cars, we've been talking about various shit we've got up to at festivals. It was a cracking laugh. It's probably going to get the pair of us cancelled and lose our entire jobs, but there you fucking go. If you're not a Patreon already, please go ahead and do this and sign up to them, because I love seeing the pair of them make money that I don't. And yeah, there's loads of perks, and you get a bonus episode, and every now and again we'll send you a picture of Colin's cock if you have the Dropbox memory to receive that.
Sloss and Humphries on the road.
Muggins and cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh.
Mark, happy to have you on the pod.
All right.
Good to see you back.
Do you know what? I didn't realise you'd recorded one, because this is a Monday, and I didn't realise you recorded one yesterday, and I thought I was being drafted in for the fucking hand grenade episode.
Oh, yeah, the minefield.
The Queen funeral.
Yeah.
Queen death hand grenade episode.
You know what? You're not wrong, because even though we recorded that one in the wake of our death, and that'll come out on Thursday as a Patreon episode, this one will come out for the public on the day of our funeral.
Yes.
so bat away, Mark. see how many unsubscribes you can get.
It's a fucking disgrace you're recording this while we're still in a period of national mourning.
You know what though? This will be like early access for the patrons on the day.
Yeah.
But then on the Wednesday it'll be public, and I think that's when we get out. We'll finish one morning on the Wednesday, right? So like everyone's just like, right, I'm not crying anymore. I can crack on with my life.
What, are you talking about a week on Wednesday? Not this Wednesday.
No.
Because there's another 9 days of this to go.
We're time lords, mate.
All right.
We're getting this in the can. We're getting this in the can, so we've got 9 days to edit it heavily. What's been your emotions, Mark?
Oh, well, just sheer shock initially, then a wave of sadness,
and then just
extreme horniness.
You've been horny. Has Amy been getting it? It's been the best week of our life. I've just my overall feeling's been one of like kind of ambivalence. Like I haven't really felt anything towards it, but I've been fucking obsessed with the people watching. Aye,
it's that kind of thing's exciting. Like I don't get because I was listening to the radio driving over it today, and even now, like it's wall to wall. It's just fucking like it's not so bad with like some of the radio stations, because they've had to play like somber music all weekend. Right. I was kind of wondering how the fuck because I don't know how they define somber music, right? Because it seems to be you can't have anything over a certain tempo, right? But apart from that, as long as it's like
hold on, so could you put Tenacious D?
Exactly.
Fuck You Gently.
Well, is
that what it's called? What's the song called?
Fuck Her Gently.
Yeah.
You probably could, right? Because that seems because I was listening
about the BPM.
Yeah, I was listening to the. It is because I was listening yesterday, and 2 different radio stations played "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt, right? And that's like a song's about a guy stalking a girl and then killing himself, and you're like going, I don't think this is what she'd have wanted.
Sting watching you.
Yeah, exactly. But like, and what was it? Somebody from school messaged me the other day, and they got back in the car and they were playing the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack. And you're like, what the fuck?
Why
is that more appropriate than Walking on Sunshine?
You're not horny because the Queen died. You're horny because of the choice of playlist they used to do the undertone of a fucking
Barry White just on
just positive reinforcement.
By the people watching is incredible. There's a Twitter account called Grief Watch. And it shows you all the mental tributes that have been paid to her.
Aye.
And some of them are fascinating.
Is it stuff like, let's go over these, the cloud in the sky that has the silhouette of the Queen?
Yeah.
Which, like, when you're a kid, you could lie down and look at the fucking clouds and just like, there's a dragon.
No, exactly.
You'll always find what you want in the clouds.
Yeah.
You'll literally fucking look at the clouds, you'll find something that
exactly.
Want.
Exactly,
so, but people are like so hooked on the paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah, when Michael Hutchins died after having a strangle wank, I'm fairly certain if you'd have searched about, you could have found a cloud with a belt round its neck and a hotel door room in the background.
It would just rain, just spurting at the end of his nimbus. I'm gonna use nimbus as a word for a cock from now on. I've just added that to my lexicon.
But
suck me nimbus.
That was one of the ones that did it. The Met Office put out a statement saying they weren't going to put out as many weather reports out of respect to the Queen. Like they were only going to give one every 4 hours or something because an hourly weather report was massively disrespectful.
Wow, it's mad the way people fucking. Because I remember I just a friend of a friend died, and it was an older lady who I worked with, and her friend had died, and they were like, Ian, she was there at the funeral because like she only liked lilies, and they'd put roses on the coffin and some of the flower, right? And they were like, and there was a big gust of wind and they blew off, and I just knew that was her. I was like, that was what she did. She was like, not the lilies. What kind of send off is this for the fucking wrong flowers? But like, I don't know if people find comfort in it. Just go that must, just find a way to make it look like there was a supernatural fucking element of it.
Yeah, I think some people are like that, but some people are properly like performative grief. Like it's like that. It's like the kind of it happened with Diana as well. It's like that kind of I'm hurting more than you. It's like it's a competition over who can be the most upset.
Mm-hmm. I remember. Can you remember? I used to have a routine about me when my granddad Harry died, and me and my dad were like fucking clearing out his council house so they could move it on because they're fucking ruthless, man. They need you to move out the fucking shit out the house so they can give it to someone else. They don't care that you're grieving, right? And we had his telly from his room in our living room, and we didn't know what to do with it. It was this like kind of smallish telly, right? And it had like when they've got a DVD player on the side. Right?
Yeah.
We didn't know what to do with it. No one particularly wanted it. We didn't know how much we could get for it. Working class people didn't like throwing things out that might be of use to someone. So we're just fucking trying to work out what to do with this. And my dad was just like, first things first, let's see if it works. And he put it on, right? He plugged it in and put it on, and instantly porn started playing in the DVD player.
Oh.
That was my version of like most angels leave a feather. I'm watching my granddad's porn with me dad. That's what I would have wanted.
Wanking each other off in memory.
Both were crying.
What kind of porn was it? Just standard.
I can tell you what kind of porn it was because my dad ejected it immediately and it had in Sharpie written on it 50 plus. Because that was the joke I did in my routine about it. Again, I was dreading finding his like DVD wallet, and I'm flicking through, and I'm going 50 plus, 40 plus, 30 plus, 20 plus, and then I open the last page. And I just go, no, Grandad, no, not a Mrs. Brown's Boys DVD. That's what the routine was. But it was 50 plus. So there was the cloud. And then there was a one where somebody posted a Facebook status that their corgis were acting strange.
Yeah.
Like, is anybody else's corgis acting strange? Mine have been so quiet, it's almost like they know. Like there's this fucking corgi string theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Connecting the fucking lot of them.
Yeah.
Like twins. A twin feels something with that.
There was one I put up Saturday actually, and it was that apparently the Queen's official beekeepers. I don't know if she kept bees. That's a good one. So they said that the Queen's official beekeepers have said that this morning they've informed the bees of what's happened. And my joke was, if there's any animal you don't want to announce the Queen's died, it's fucking bees. Like, it's just going to be mass. Like, what? The fucking Queen? Like,
oh, your Queen.
The hive going to shit.
Because that actually, bringing insects into it points out how actually fucked up we are, right? Because a queen bee or a queen ant, right? Mm-hmm. They're the breeders, right? Mm. The queen fucking xenomorph on Alien. They're the breeders. They're the breeders, right? So the fucking the soldiers and the fucking workers and that, their whole motivation in life is to fucking look after the Queen.
Yeah.
Because that's the fucking that's
what keeps it alive.
That's the fucking womb of the operation. That's what keeps this whole fucking community alive, is the Queen.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like a fucking legit reason for the soldiers to pledge allegiance to the cause, right? Yet we have that same pledge of allegiance, but it's not like the fucking Queen's in Buckingham Palace laying eggs.
No, I would have
Like,
a lot more respect for her if she was like the Queen and Alien, like.
Mate, I would be fucking God now with my life. Like I'd be a fucking soldier ant.
Oh man, imagine that! Just a Queen hanging from a fucking roof on a Buckingham Palace. Just this massive tube, just pumping eggs out all over the ground. Oh, the class.
Aye, mate, the genuine grief. And genuinely, like, fucking, who's going to be the next one?
Yeah.
Prince Charles going to be up there laying eggs? I didn't think so.
Yeah. Somebody put up a thing yesterday. It was an American, actually. And then I think it was Sky News had given a list of who all the next in line were. Mm-hmm. So it's like Prince William, then it's like Prince George, Prince Louis, one of the other ones.
Oh, because the lassie as well, isn't it? Because they're not like, they're pretty woke.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to get all the men in line and then fuck with one of the men.
Yeah.
And then start going through the women.
Yeah. But what they said was, so there was them, and then there was the three kids, and then there was Prince Harry. And they were like, this is what's mental about the like, what other job would there be an announcement or a chat where we're going, right, who have we got as backup here? Right, what we've got is a guy, a failed helicopter pilot, 3 children that are in primary school, and a cunt that does podcasts in California now.
and then a pedo.
Yeah. I wonder how many. You ever seen the film King Ralph?
That
It's got John Goodman in it, and it's a film about this American guy who's like way down the line of the throne. And there's this gathering of all the members of the royal family, like everybody, like cousins, fucking everything, second cousins. And there's an electrical storm, and they all get electrocuted. And he's like the last living person, but he's this like massively fat alcoholic American. So I'm wondering how far down the line it would become Prince Andrew. Like, how many people would have to die?
Can we Google that, Matthew?
Because
See if you can find out.
I'd be willing to go on a killing spree to see that happen.
I think it's it. Like, you'd have to, if there happened to be a fucking terrorist attack on the funeral or something when they're all together grieving.
Yeah.
And then they obviously hadn't wheeled out Prince Andrew because he's still fucking being kept underground.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Did you see him grow up with his daughter's arse?
I did see that, aye. I didn't realise it was his daughter initially.
Aye, because I didn't know what was happening.
I thought it was just another well-wisher.
I thought it was his missus or something.
Aye.
I didn't, like...
But it's weird,
I didn't keep up with the reality TV show enough to know who he's married to and what his wife looks like. And
it's
all
weird, isn't it?
What we got here? He's 8th in line.
He's 8th in line?
Was, aye.
So there's only 7 to go.
There's only 7.
And it's him.
There's only 7 on your Deadpool, mate. Before you... You've got to murder a couple of children, though.
That's
Hold on, are we committing treason on the podcast? Is that what's happening?
Oh, we're only suggesting it. We're not actually doing it. But
that's what Elliot kept thinking that yesterday. He was like, it's a comedy podcast. It's a satire.
That's a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Because that's what's another thing is, because when we're talking about the people watching, there was a lot of people that are like, there was one of them in particular that was, I don't care if the Queen forgive Harry for what he put her through. I don't forgive him.
Yeah, like, I know.
You're like,
I know.
Harry.
I know.
Not the one that fucking was involved in human trafficking.
Yeah.
And went to Epstein Island.
It's fucking...
Not that. What Harry put her through.
But this is where
that shows you where people's heads are. That they can marrying a black lass.
Yeah, but
is far worse than fucking a young'un.
But that's
in their heads.
But that's where you'll never get, like, genuinely with the whole thing. I've been always like, listen, if people want to grieve, fair enough, right? I can understand why people would be upset about it. I don't get it, but I'm not going to piss on other people's. I object to the enforced mourning.
Oh yeah,
I object to being on the TV all the time. I object to going down the motorway and every advertising board being that.
Your football's cancelled. You're affecting my life and I haven't watched your show.
Aye, exactly.
Yeah.
Aye, and also, right?
If Love Island started affecting my life like this, then I'd start being a bit vocal about Love Island, when passively now I'd just go away if you enjoy it. That's your thing.
Just as a side point with that, right? The football being cancelled, it's been on BBC 24/7 pretty much, right, since it happened. See if any cunt ever moans about football again. You know when the World Cup comes around and you'll see these fannies will come up and go, football on again? How can they possibly find so much to talk about with football? You fucking kidding me on? 12 days. 12 days you've been doing this.
Aye, our pensioner dying.
Aye. But what was it? What was my point? Aye, I don't have any problem with that. But I do have a problem with the mindset as people like that. That there's people going about Meghan Markle going, she has no place at that funeral whatsoever. And you're going, why? Because she's an American black lassie. That's why. Aye. But like you're saying, that fucking guy.
But
that guy, he deserves a place at the top table.
And the people who are like, oh, she deserves no place there, they feel like they deserve a place at the funeral.
Yeah.
They feel like they deserve a place. Yet they're gone. What? Our grandson's wife kind of gone.
Fucking mental.
It's amazing how involved people are.
Oh.
And like you say, like I try not to get swept up in any of it, but like fucking, our lives get swept up in it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, now I have to be involved in this.
Well, even
now I have to have an opinion because fucking me transport's changed and me travel plans have changed.
Yeah.
And me recreation's changed. So now you're forcing us to fucking have an opinion about your thing.
Yeah. Even last night, one of my kids was looking. We're gonna they wanted to buy something off Amazon. And as soon as you go on Amazon, the entire top banner is a picture of the Queen and rest in peace and all that kind of stuff. So it literally, you cannot escape. Like you cannot escape it.
It's fucking high. That's the corporate shit as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the corporate side of things. Are just that's not doing it out of respect.
No, they're just terrified.
That's doing it out of appeal.
Yeah,
that's doing it out of like, ooh, how can we pander to these people who buy our things?
Exactly. And they're so terrified of if they don't do it, there'll be some mass backlash.
Aye.
Which is a terrible way to run a country. Look, it's a terrible idea that if you...
Should we change the banner on the Patreon? So have you been affected much by it, like with cancellations and that?
Yeah, I got everything cancelled at the weekend.
Hold on, Did I not read that you were fucking already on your train?
Yeah.
To get your gig in Leeds?
In Leeds, yeah.
Yeah, fuck, man.
And it's not, generally don't blame the guy that puts on the gig at all, because he was just as frustrated as everyone else. It was the venue had suddenly decided that they didn't think it was best that they go ahead. And they didn't, because a couple of people messaged me afterwards saying they were going to go to the gig, and they were furious as well, and going, we weren't consulted.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't told... Like, there was no, because there's been some clubs that have gone, right, we're not closing, but if anyone feels it's inappropriate that they come or they don't want to come, you'll be given a free refund or you'll be allowed to rearrange for another date. No questions asked, no problem at all.
Yeah.
Right? But people that do still want to come will be open and we'll be there. And that's I think that's the right way to deal with it, rather than just assuming...
Yeah, making everyone
people aren't grown-ups that can make up their own fucking decisions.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for every individual gig, but I think that there's a large portion of gigs that weren't selling well, and they used it as an excuse.
Yeah. Well, I think I probably fell under that banner.
Yeah, because I had a chat with Gav because we're running a Punch Drunk, and Kerry Marks is on headline, and he texted us going, I haven't booked my train ticket yet, let us know when you know what's happening with a gig. And I spoke to Gav and I was like, how's it selling? He was like, you know what, we've done better out the blocks.
Aye.
Like it's got to be one of our smaller attendances unless it picks up and all that. And then I was like, right, well, if we do like pull it, let's just be honest.
Aye.
Let's just go and look, it's not selling that well.
Aye,
we're gonna arrange it for another day when like people whatever like
like
when there isn't a fucking cost of living crisis.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Like,
aye.
When people are wanting to come out the house. I don't know. Like you can never, when you're promoting, you can never put your finger on like why something isn't particularly selling well. It might just be like we didn't promote it very well. Soft launched it because we announced that it was on before we announced the headliner. So we were like, but if we do pull the gigs, can we not use the fucking death of a 96-year-old woman as an excuse.
No, exactly.
And just actually just going, but we are going ahead with it. There is enough sales for it to break even and for it to be a good gig for our guests. It just isn't going to be hugely lucrative unless a few more people come.
Aye.
But we're going ahead with it. But the fact that we had that conversation told me that a lot of people with less honesty,
undoubtedly,
a lot of people with less honesty just went, oh God, I was about to lose £400.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, totally. Aye. Fuck was I going to say? Nah, I can't remember.
So you're going to throw someone under the bus?
No.
You're going to go, we're not fine. Well, that's what. And then you realise that this was a public episode. I forgot what I've got to say. The instant out of throwing someone under the bus. The amount of times I've stopped stitching my mates by saying that. What the real honest one is, I know exactly what I wanted to say. I'm just not saying it. So gigs cancelled. Also, there's fucking, as well as the transport being fucked up, because British Airways pulled all of their flights, didn't they?
I saw it because they're not using all the flights for the military,
which I think's fucked up as well, because the Queen has loyal servants, i.e. us, our people who she loves and reigns over with affection. Why the fuck would she want us to be stranded in an airport in her name?
I don't think anything.
Why the fuck would she want us fucking hanging around fucking Terminal 5 of Heathrow while our fucking British Airways flights get redirected to...
Yeah.
That's counter... Well, it's against everything that she should loosely stand for.
But somebody was telling me that they need to... Basically, every 5-star hotel in London, if you're booked into it, you're not anymore. You're getting turfed out, because literally everyone in every dignitary in the world is coming to London for this.
Well, fuck you didn't book in advance. Get the Premier Inn. get fucking high. There you are. Get Biden in the Premier Inn.
Imagine that hotel bar just fucking...
Getting up for hotel breakfast now, the tables are dirty and all that. You know when you're in a dodgy hotel and they just haven't got the staff. And there's leftover fucking beans on the table that you sit down at, and you just shove it to one side to have your breakfast. Add to the pile of leftovers on the table.
Zelensky and Putin having a fight at the pool table.
Filling their beer bar bottles back up with water.
Do you reckon Trump will go at the funeral? I was interested in this.
So you never know what's real on the internet, obviously, right? But did he do a fucking social media post that he got knighted by the Queen in private? In private? Was that actually one of his posts, or did somebody just make that up as like a parody?
I think it was one of his posts.
It read like something with The Onion.
Yeah, it did, aye.
But it had his name and his blue tick, and I'm like, well, I could make that.
Yeah, I
could put his name and a blue tick on. But that would be very funny if fucking he just gate crashes.
I hope it is true.
You hope it's true that he said it, or you hope it's true that it happened?
Both.
Imagine she's just there, fucking hammered, got a tie around her head.
She doesn't have a sword. She's a bit of spaghetti.
Remember them plastic swords you used to get from the fair? Yeah. And they'd have a sheath. Just did it with one of them.
Sheath.
Did it with spaghetti.
For fuck's sake.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's all fake. Not if it's real. There never was a queen. She's a lizard. But it's the public transport from the flights is fucked, and then I went to book my train back from London. And there was just no trains available. This is on the weekend of like 21st or 24th. I can't remember what it is, but
really? So it's that?
But I didn't think it was because of the Queen. I think there's already strikes on.
Aye,
there's already strikes on, and then they're cancelling shit as well, because the nation that fucking invented "Keep Calm and Carry On" is just fucking gone. Let's be hysterical.
That's a new T-shirt. You get that in a teapot now.
I wish I knew how to spell it so that could be the title of the podcast. Siri, how do you spell? But it's fucking bananas.
So you did have anything cancelled, no?
Nah, I talked about this yesterday, but I done the Glasgow Glee.
Oh.
And I was like, that, because it feels safe to be in Scotland, do you know? Because like they're not as bothered as the fucking...
especially in Glasgow,
but I was a bit concerned that Glasgow would be a bit divided.
I don't even think with that. I don't even think it's...
Like that, like they probably cancelled the football because you're going to have a lot of people who are going to chant inflammatory things.
Apparently that is the... Like...
I cannot imagine Celtic fans would be that respectful about the Queen's death.
No, they wouldn't.
But I imagine the Rangers fans would be like, she's our angel.
But
I don't know, mate. I honestly haven't got my finger on the pulse enough with a fucking Old Firm. I'm scared of it.
But it's just... No, but Liverpool as well. Liverpool were like one of the main reasons the EFL pulled all the weekends.
Because they're very anti-establishment.
Yeah, I mean, they're anti literally everything, Liverpool. Yeah. Like, if there's a chance to be anti something, it's just, they will do it. But it's... which I quite like.
I know, that's why like I find it really like conflicting in me that like a lot of the time when Liverpool are like fucking mad socialists and fucking like hating the Tories and all that, I'm like, fucking these cunts, man.
Aye.
Good guys.
Aye, exactly.
And then when they get beat, I'm like, get it up with you, cunt.
and then Klopp rolls out one of his shite excuses and you go, yeah, you've just fucking ruined this. Yeah. But that was the partly the reason they didn't want the embarrassment of, because it happened on Thursday night, because like Liverpool and Celtic were the two teams that were mentioned where they go, oh well, they won't respect it, definitely. But then on Thursday, Hearts fans booed a minute's silence, and so did Arsenal fans.
Did they?
So I think it's right across. I think it's just right across.
I thought the country's armoury would. They totally forgot who they were for a minute, didn't they? As they Irish Ryan Cullen supporting Arsenal. Come on, the Gunners. You're like, where do you think that gun was pointing?
Yeah, exactly. One of those guns killed your granddad, Cullen.
People forget the history in football as well. Like, and you know what? That's gonna happen still. Like when Rangers play Liverpool, there's gonna be static if that's then there'll have to be an Old Firm again doing the line. It's gonna happen.
Aye.
Just fucking let it happen. It's like trying to put out a fire with a fucking like water pistol.
I know
like,
it is.
Like what you doing? Just get it out the way. Rip the plaster off.
Aye.
Just fucking let it happen. If you know what, don't give it news coverage.
Aye.
Like if that's what you want, like fuck, you know, when a streaker runs on the pitch and it just fucking turns like the cameras elsewhere.
Yeah.
If you're scared of that, just turn the fucking cameras elsewhere. I mean, let it happen. Let it fizzle out.
As an example to your like the fact that British idea of keep calm and carry on thing, right? Celtic are due to play Shakhtar on Wednesday night.
Aye.
A club whose country are involved in an actual fucking war.
Aye.
And they're going ahead. And then someone made the point of Denmark at the Euros were made to finish the game when they didn't know if their captain was dead or alive. But we can't play on a Saturday because on the Thursday someone... Do you know what I mean? That's when you kind of go, this is a bit fucking ridiculous. Like
everyone just fucking chill out, man, what he's doing. And it's like, it's costing working class people money a lot of the time as well.
Of course,
and it's a lot of the time it's like the cricket guns ahead and the horse racing guns ahead, but the thing that the workers use for escapism, that's the bit that's cancelled. And I just feel like there's a lot of it seems steeped in classism. Like all the people who work at the stadium, bars and cafeterias and all that, are they still getting paid?
No, because they're
like
all
the footballers.
Most of them in 0 hour contracts. So they'll get fuck all for this. So they've lost an entire weekend's worth of wages.
All of the like the businesses surrounding the match on match day, you know, even just the fucking guys on the stall selling scarves and
exactly,
shit like that. Like everybody's just getting their fucking livelihood ripped from them with no compensation.
No.
And going crack on, like fucking deal with that.
No, exactly.
And you're like what? But the posh cunts get their thing.
I know. Anyway.
What do we do? We're just fucking, you know what we do? We're just going, we'll have a little rant and put it on a podcast and then we'll fucking dust ourselves off and carry on as normal.
No, exactly.
You've lost your fucking weekend's graft because of the thing.
No, exactly.
You've got bills to pay and all that.
I know.
And not just lost your weekend's graft, but you fucking bought a train ticket that you won't get reimbursed.
Oh, no, I'm getting that. Oh, I'm getting that.
Are you getting that back?
Oh, no, there's no way. I mean, I'm going to, like I say, I'm not...
Even though you took the journey.
I'm not taking it out on the promoter at all because he was shafted just as much because he'd spent money on advertising. Mm-hmm. But the venue, I'm fucking going after, Lex. Because because I've read shitloads that they didn't have to. It was entirely their choice to cancel it.
You got to be there in the small claims court and all that. Just off your suit.
Better Call Saul and fucking
spend about $3,000 getting your 70 quid back. It's a fucking principle.
I think you'll find I had to go off at Carlisle and then get my way home.
Is that what you did? Oh, that's a fucking sad day when you're getting off the train at Carlisle for no reason. Like,
it's
just yelling into the air.
But what else can we talk about?
Let's gear change because speaking of gear changes, I got a phone call off Audi. I didn't intend that link. Just before we started the podcast, while I sat down, while plugging and playing, fucking Audi ringers just going, "Oh, you fucking cars talk to the provider now."
See, I didn't because my car's not electronic enough to.
Because of snitch. My car fucking rang Audi and was just like, "He hasn't changed my oil. Will you give him a ring to come and change my oil?"
Someone needs to have a word with this prick.
I blinked a little light and he didn't even. He just ignored it.
So how is it talking to it? So wait, is there a central computer that's attached to
and now the computer and now that's fucking dishing out information because I can look at my phone now and tell you how many miles I've got if my door's open, if the car's unlocked.
All right, Jesus.
It's handy that the Apple tight of us and fucking you've left the boot open when you've parked up and it'll fucking leave a GPS of where it's parked. It's fucking useful.
Aye.
For how much money was spent on that technology, I didn't use that enough.
Yeah.
For the exchange, right? Because it's a lease car. I get it for 3 years. I pay my monthly fucking thing for it.
Aye.
I hand it back, and then I'll get a new. I don't know how the transition works because I don't know if I have to do. I don't know if I have to get in because you were telling me about the cars are in fucking short supply because of the computer chips.
One of the podcasts. Yeah.
So the fucking price of cars are going up and the fucking production line. So I'm due in December 2023 to hand that back. So I don't know if I've got to get in touch with them now and be like, can I have another one lined up? And if there's just a slick, here's your new car, I'm going to take the old one away. Or if I'm going to have an overlap or I'm going to have a gap where I don't have a car. I didn't really plan or discuss that far ahead.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing with having a lease car is you have to hand it back with a full service history. And if that was just my car and the guy was ringing us going, you need to have an oil change, it's going to cost you, I think it was 250 quid or something. And then he's like, oh, and while you're in, you might as well get the pollen filter changed. And I was like, and he was like, on the brake fluid, and he's going, that's an extra 90 and this is going to be, and I'm like, yeah, it's a lease car. Do exactly what needs to be done for me to hand this back and not get charged. Don't be adding shit. Just keep it to the fucking strip. I don't give a fuck about the longevity. This car really.
I love that shit.
Just do the fucking bare minimum. And but if he rang me and went, it's 250 quid for an oil change. If that was my car, I'd just be getting onto the phone of my mate Scott. It'd be like, if you've got a fucking minute, mate, and he'd do an oil change for us and he'd just fucking take a bit of cash off us and not run through the till or something.
You don't know change yourself.
What?
You don't know change yourself.
I need out, but I didn't think I can hand in a lease car with fucking...
Oh no, if you start trying to fix it yourself, you'll be absolutely fucked.
Yeah, and I'm not educated enough in not just how to do it, but the system. I don't know how much this so I'm just fucking my phone rings, it's Audi, and I'm already just taking my belt off and pulling my pants down and bending now and pulling my arse cheeks apart and going, aye mate, just spit on it mate.
But I remember who's it was, I think it was my wife's uncle. He had a car for his company, and it was like a proper electronic car. And he was talking to me about how much of a pain in the arse it is, because if something goes wrong, even the most basic of things, the car stops fucking... Like, you can't open the car. Like, it literally doesn't open.
Oh, it's not safe, we're not going to let you drive it. Is that what it does?
You couldn't even, like... You know how, like... You know, like, you have an older car and shit would happen and you could pretend you knew what the fuck you were looking for, and you could open up the boot and go, there's something smoking there. You can't even do that. You can't even get access to it anymore. Nah. And there was a lassie, cause he says he felt pure sorry for her because she'd just passed her test. She still had like the green L plates. Is it an L plate or a P plate?
Well, if you've just passed, yeah. You know what? There is a P plate, but I think you can have green L's.
Aye. So she wasn't long past anyway, and basically roundabout, he was going round, and she'd come out too early, and she'd nudged the back of him, and it was like a minor scrape, and maybe something needed dented out of the bumper at the back, and she was like, "Look, can we just like fucking?" And he was like, "We can't, because there's so much electronics in this now that even the tiniest of bump can completely fuck up the interior, the inside
your parking sensors are on your bumper,
and that's you fuck." And so suddenly it's gone from being just getting a bit of metal fixed to getting a laptop fixed.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's a machine now. It's
and like I feel like it's not quite there yet with how smart it is as a car. Like you're like, oh, we're the ones that are fucking, we're the generation that are getting the fucked up smart car. It's fucking, it thinks it's smart, but it's got additional needs. I shouldn't have done the voice.
It can't even fucking.
I should have either done the voice or said additional needs. The fact that I did them both, just I'm not going to edit it out, but I am going to apologise and admit that I know I was wrong, right? But do remember I'm talking about a car. Fucking listen to another podcast, right?
I'd also like to apologise for saying I'd murder 3 children so a paedophile could be head of the country.
This fucking smart car that I'm driving, right? I'll fucking... You'll get to drift over onto another lane, or you'll get to overtake without indicating, and it'll be like lane assist and a fucking... You've got like a picture of your car with two green lights there, and one of them will turn red. You're about to drift into another lane, and it'll put up a bit of resistance on the steering wheel and like push the steering wheel, which is fucking handy if you're gonna be driving along texting or whatever. Which
or you're pissed.
You're pissed or something, right? Or like you're dozing off and then your fucking steering wheel takes out and it fucking snaps you to me, right? Like it's really fucking putting the bumpers up on you being like an absolute dickhead at the wheel, right, and not paying attention to the road. It's putting the bumpers up on that shit, right? Or so it probably brings your insurance down, the fact that exists. But you know, if I'm in the outside lane and then there's one of the lane I'm in's about to close and then the fucking cones are drifting into one lane and the lane just merges into another one, right? It tries to push you into the cones.
Oh, does it?
It's going, you're drifting off to the lane. You're like, I'm going into the lane because I'm fucking going into one lane. I'm being merged.
Yeah.
I'm being merged and you're fucking us off into the cones. I nearly killed that fucking TM boy.
Yeah.
Traffic management. TM boy sounds weirdly sexual, doesn't it? There's still bits in it like that where like, or if a car like breaks up ahead of you, it'll beep and then put like fucking collision alert, and the beep makes you look away from the road at the dash and go collision alert, and you're like, I was busy looking at that. Why are you trying to snap us out of me focus when I'm fucking dealing with someone slamming the brakes on in front of us? You make us feel like have something tap us on the shoulder while I'm fucking busy.
Well, that's the point. Like either have it that it's completely in control, or it's not in control. Because this halfway house shit makes it more dangerous.
It's giving us a hand with shit that I didn't need a hand with.
But it's like when they talk about like the self-drive cars and stuff, and like, because they're not. When I first heard about self-drive cars, I was like, "That's fucking class." But you still need to be alert, or you still need to be sitting there at the wheel concentrating. So, like, why? Like, I want self-drive car. To me, is you get asleep. in the back. Do you know what I mean? Or you can...
Because it's much easier to keep concentration if you've got little things to do along the way.
But just sitting there, waiting for something that might happen... you're never going to be alert enough
like you're just on watch.
Exactly, yeah.
You're essentially a lifeguard.
Yeah.
You're just lifeguarding your car, trying not to drift off into thought. I didn't want to. I really don't want to turn into an old man with it all. But I really find myself turning into an old man because I've put up a lot of resistance to cars going automatic as well. Aye. And I know I'm wrong because so many people are... One of my mates' arguments for this was like, what, you want it to have a key for you to put your ignition key in as well, instead of just the button push. And he said that as if it was a slam, and part of us was going, Aye. I get in the car, right, and my keys might be in my fucking bag or something. I don't know where they are, right, and when I've got them in my hand... I put it in there and I know exactly where my keys are, and that's where they are.
Aye.
Right? And I'm like, you might as well have took away my cup holder.
Aye.
Like, oh, you know, we've took your cup holder out, and I'm like, because I'm being a fucking old cantankerous old cunt.
And also,
because I like that. I like getting in and put. Even if you just put your key there, you still let us have the input device.
Aye.
So I can put it in.
Plus, there's a lot of stuff that I would miss. I like the noise cars make. Do you know what I mean? I like the fucking hum of the engine and shit. Like, I like that.
I like putting the handbrake on.
Aye.
I hate this little bit.
I know.
I didn't like them. And I know that I like everybody that I talk to is just like that. I'm putting up resistance to these like cool little functions and all that. But I'm just like, I like to be able to put the handbrake on at a level. Like, I'll put it on like a bit if I'm there. Now when you're on a hill and you like fucking crank it right up. And you walk away with the security that you know that you put it there.
Yeah, exactly. Aye. It also, do you know what else it does? Anytime you get new stuff on cars and you've not dealt with them before, it makes you look like a fanny. Mm-hmm. Right? This happened to us when we were on holiday at the start of July. We get this hire car off this company in Portugal. We always get it off the same folk. And so it's like, we got there at like 10:30 at night. So there's always that kind of, because they're pretty unreliable anyway, there's always that, are they actually going to be there? So eventually we found this guy that's basically the back of a van open. And then this guy brings around the car. And we had the car seat as well. Uh-huh. So because... like, some European countries still aren't up to the standard of car seats that are really required. Like, literally, like, there's some countries that would still let you travel in the fucking boot if you wanted to. So they
were the days. Like,
yeah.
Oh fuck, man! The amount of us that used to fit the car to go to Ingram Valley. Yeah. You're going to pick your granddad up and you've already got 5 in the car, so you're not going to put granddad in the boot, are you? It's fucking it's middle child that guy's in there.
So we get this car. So I've got the car seat out from my son, and I'm looking at the back seat for a handle to open up the back door. Right, there's no handle there where the handle would normally be. So I'm like, all right, I didn't realise it was just like a 3-door car. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, right, so I can't. How am I getting the car seat on? So because it's hot, the windows are already down. So I'm trying to jam this fucking car seat through the back window, right? And it's nowhere near going. And then this girl who worked for them, literally must have been about 18, just came, and the door handle was on the top of it. And just went like that and opened it up. And I've never looked like such a fanny in my life. I'm fucking trying to kick a car seat in a window.
You're like, why would you fuck with where the door handle is on a car?
Why would it be up there? Why?
Just make it like the bonnet where you're like fucking trying to find the clit. I don't know why your bonnet doesn't just open like a fucking door. You've already mastered door handles. Just chuck one on the bonnet. Stop making them.
Find that wee switch. Come on, you.
As well, the amount of times I've pulled up to a fucking petrol station in like a hire car, and I found myself googling how the fuck do you open the petrol cap on a fucking 2021 Corsa? Like, just pop the thing. Just pop the thing, why have you? It's in here next to the mirror. Stupid me. Fucking fuck with the system. We had a good system. We're in Lindisfarne, and the guy that was parked up next to Ricketts' camper van, right, had left he put his phone on charge and fucking didn't turn his car on to charge his phone.
So battery.
So his last day of a festival, his fucking battery's there, and Ricketts has got this like fucking power bank that like meant to charge your battery up. For some reason or that's fucking not working with his car, and then we're like, let's fucking old school, I'll push it.
Roll it down a hill.
We're pointing it down the hill. It's on grass, so there's a bit of resistance, but there's plenty of way, right? And we'll fucking get a bit of speed up and fucking lift his clutch and all that. Now it's happening. It doesn't work anymore.
You can't do the second gear thing.
Electronic fucking starting car, automatic and all that. How the fuck are you meant to start that? So we're just going through the motions like we would. And we're like, why would you take that element away from a car? That's the beauty of being able to start a car that's with a battery with just manpower alone.
Aye. But it makes you feel...
Or woman power, but you know what? You can stand next to the door and pretend to run. I've seen you. I've seen you on.
It makes you feel class as well if you start a car like that.
It does.
It's like you've tricked the car. Because I was all at Lindisfarne for a brief afternoon, which... I'm kind of glad about when I saw the state he is on this Saturday.
Oh, man. He turned up, I was fucking covered in blood, wasn't I? Oh, no, was that the night after I was covered in blood? It was a day after.
I'd
been patched up.
Aye.
I had been patched up that day. That we were fucking some clip, that festival, man. It was great. It was honestly fucking... It was like a kaleidoscope. I just put myself through a fucking kaleidoscope. Aye. It was brilliant.
That wee lad was class.
Isn't he great?
That wee Jack guy.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of him. Like, I just swept him off the street.
It's unbelievable. I met this wee guy, and how old is he?
24.
He's 24, but genuinely, the cunt could be 62, the way he looks. Like, he's got like a fucking moustache.
He looks like a redneck.
Yeah, he does,
He looks like, you know what, you could cast him in the Ozarks and he would be fucking like...
He does,
He would be a superb casting, wouldn't he?
Aye. But he was class, man.
He's he's really fucking quick-witted now. Yeah. He makes us laugh loads. We're watching Cullen, right? And Cullen, we're at the back of a gig that Cullen was on, and Cullen done a joke about trying to contact his gran with a Ouija board, and he just leaned into me and goes, "This Ouija's board." And he just gets us with shit like that all the time.
That's fucking brilliant, man.
And fucking, we're in fucking Ricketts' camper van, and just hung over in the morning trying to get our come down, and fucking Ricketts up into this fucking sweetie draw, and he's just like, fucking man looking like you with a sweet draw in your van. He's fucking riding on Ricketts like this, right? And Ricketts gave us these fucking delicious chocolates that he'd getting from fucking TB or something, right? And he's like, fucking have these. And he was like, he just give us napalm. Fucking, this is what's going on. My faces were exploding. It was fucking chili infused chocolates. But mate, I don't mind hot shit. Like, I like hot sauce on my breakfast. I'm cool with hot food. These fucking chocolates were blowing me mind. And little Jack with his fucking ginger mullet and his glasses on, fucking little satchel on him and all that, like proper angry. Just goes, you know what it is? I've been here for 24 hours. I've took whatever fucking Geordies have put in my palm. I've put them down the hatch. I've had a good time. I didn't think it was going to be fucking chocolates that stung it. He's proper kicking off for Ricketts. Well, he's a fucking class kid. Like, I'm gonna try and get him on more shit.
Where did you meet him then?
I saw him on Red Raw.
Right.
I was just trying out some new shit for the Fringe at Red Raw, and there was like a handful of acts on, but he was one where I was just like, fuck.
In Glasgow?
Yeah, I was like instantly, I fucking like his gear, I like his chat backstage and all that. Like, he didn't seem like he was fucking in on the fucking, you know how sometimes it's just a weird vibe backstage. They're always either on the claim or like trying to fucking...
I hate it.
They're trying to elevate status, because you ever been in there where they don't know that you're a professional comic that's come in to do a new spot, so they think that you're new and they're trying to give you advice and all that, and you just smile and let them do it and all that. You're like, okay. Like,
I don't get that.
What?
I go in wearing a crown now, so that they fucking know.
But now it is half the time the youngins do, because they watch comedy. They turn up. They know what's happening, but every now and again you'll get someone in there that just turns up for their own fucking spotting brands, and they're the ones that don't really get very far because they're not learning. He just dies. He went in. He fucking he was just sound as fuck straight away backstage. He done class on his gig, and then when we were watching the Toon match. Toon Tranmere, he was in supporting PSV against Rangers.
Oh, really? Aye.
He was just there to watch whoever Rangers were getting beat off. I think they won. I think they won that game. It's just just being a little cretin. It ended up going on the lash with him.
Nice.
I went to drinking with him. I just
nice.
followed Cullen around, having his life. And then I give him a buzz about coming to the festival with us, and he fucking quit his job to do it. I think I'm covering old ground on. I've already talked about this, but he was fucking cleaning the streets with fucking jet washers and all that. Scab crossing the picket line. He was thinking about quitting his job anyway, and when I offered him that weekend, he fucking booked his job and come away. It was like a fucking make a wish for him anyway. That's so I'm gonna try and get him on a few more things. I don't know what much more I can get him on, but I'll put his name. He's only been got 8 months.
Fuck. I wish I could have hung about to see what he's like on stage, but
he does a lot of stuff about like a juxtaposition of his personality, like fucking listening to Susan Boyle in the bath and all that. Like he does like guilty pleasure, like stuff that betrays his personality. Like it's fucking real.
That afternoon after I'd left the comedy tent, so I told you I was going to go and get some food. So I went down. I got like mac and cheese and shit, and I was just sitting there before I got back in the car, and that's when I got banned from Twitter.
Oh shit!
During that afternoon, I was like, so if I hadn't stopped to get that mac and cheese, it wouldn't have happened.
What was the thing that got you banned off Twitter?
So it was because folk were messaging me going, "What joke was it?" And it wasn't even a joke. It was, Simon Lomas.
Yes, class
comic from Manchester. Right? He's fucking brilliant. Like one-liner, deadpan as fuck. And me and him are really good pals. And he was gigging up in Aberdeen, and he'd put a joke or something about Scotland as he was passing. So he was getting a lift, he'd taken a picture of the sign that says "Welcome to Scotland" with a flag, and then he'd put something about it. And then I'd reply to him going, "If you ever speak like that again, I'll beat you to death."
Yes.
Right? And somebody then complained to Twitter.
Of course.
And then Twitter then looked into it, and I got banned for bullying behaviour, violent threats.
Mate, you're getting banned from the cesspit. Getting like when you see how much fucking hatred there is on there.
Unbelievable
to be on there and cross the line.
I know, genuinely, and it's so frustrating because you can't. You've got no comeback to it at all.
That's like not getting into bubbles in Ashton. No, mate, you're too drunk while like two lasses are kicking shit out of each other in the yard and not getting thrown out.
There's a guy over there smearing his own shit in the walls. What have I done?
But a bar where actually I don't know if it was Bubbles, it might have been a different bar in Ashton, but there was one that Black Eye Friday, the Friday where everybody finishes work for Christmas. There was a promotional deal where like if you've got a pre-existing black eye, you get a free shot. You got banned from that place. You got told that you were too drunk to come in there. You've been too rowdy.
Not tonight, mate. It's Black Eye Friday. We don't want you.
You're sort of
ruining the night.
bringing down the tone of the place. So basically, do you think a human read it and saw that, or do you think it was all algorithm based?
Well, it was.
This is hate speech. This is the fucking.
No, I think someone, because I got informed that someone had reported me, and then an algorithm looks at the language.
So funny if it's Simon.
Oh, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was a wee prick, but it was. I think it then looks at it, but then that's when it becomes frustrating because you file an appeal, but then the appeal goes to a computer and an algorithm, and then the algorithm goes, we've read your appeal and we've read the language in the initial tweet, and you're still banned.
Aye.
So you need to speak to a human. But
how do you speak to a human?
So I spent a full day fucking deep diving, trying to. So I found Twitter's address in Britain.
You turned up.
Right? I genuinely was thinking about it. Like,
Twitter, it's me. Twitter, it's me. It's Mark.
Elon, get fucking out of here.
Yeah, I've got 15,000 followers. How many followers you got?
14,000. It's not even 15,000.
15,000 people missing out on my shit, man.
You better hope the Queen doesn't die next week, because I've got some gold sitting there in my drafts. But it's like they don't exist.
Like Fathers for Justice. You're fucking dressed up as Batman trying to climb up a bridge, handcuffing yourself to shit.
Dressed up as a wee bird. But I think what ended up happening was I put out a thing on the other fucking cesspits, and someone had come back to me that had dealt with somebody from Twitter, and then they said, give this guy an email and see if he can help you out. So I did, and then he got back to me and said, I know somebody in that kind of department, and it was sorted within seconds.
Yeah, amazing. Because you know, when I had a bunch of shit going on with Sophology a while back, like fucking, I've put them through it enough, right? They can go back into the archives to find that fucking rant. But I got out of it because Roscoe McClellan saw us ranting about it on Twitch, and he slid into me DMs and went, I've got the CEO's email address for Sophology. Do you want it?
Oh, man.
And I emailed the CEO.
Oh, yes.
And instantly, she didn't reply, but somebody else replied going, I'm sorry you felt the need to go to the CEO about this.
Fucking hell. God.
So,
that's immense.
If anybody needs the email address from the CEO of Sophology, be in touch, because I've unless they've changed it because it's getting out, I've still got it.
Have you talked in the podcast about that thing Roscoe did at the Fringe?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
But there might not be closure on it. Did he get a write up in the Sun? Because I know the Sun got in touch with him last time we spoke about it.
Yeah,
just to brief everybody who's catching up, Roscoe just baited the journalists by pretending on social media that somebody was wanking off in his crowd during the live show. We were just making on that it was you the whole time.
All right.
Anybody that was at the live show thinks you had a wank in Roscoe's gig.
But no, because the way he did it was beautiful. Like, because he left it ambiguous enough.
Oh, and
it was believable.
He was getting welfare checks about it.
Yeah.
Are you all right, mate?
Yeah.
Show.
And but the Sun, I spoke to him, and so the Sun had contacted him, and he just completely ignored it. But then they'd just gone ahead and written one of the sidebar articles about it anyway.
Oh, fucking hell! So you actually did get some press coverage, but like not.
Yeah.
It didn't like pop or anything. It wasn't.
I mean, you must see if you've had dreams of being a journalist all your life. It's that kind of day where you're writing up that might not even be true. Going, what the fuck is this career? Genuinely,
that's getting off the train at Carlisle moment, isn't it? When you're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
This wasn't the dream.
Oh man, let's wrap this up now then, and fucking we'll call it. But plug anything you've got to plug, and this is going out public as well. So.
I've got so my podcast. I'm going to start doing it again. I know I plug it every single time on here. I don't think I've released an episode since the last time I did it, but I've got shit ones in the bank. I've got a load of pish in the bank that I'm gonna fucking slurry out at 3 a.m.
Subscribe to that, please. The hard sell from Mark Nelson.
Wait till you see Gareth Waugh's episode. Right piece of shit. But no, okay.
Yeah, you do a perfect playlist.
Yeah,
you build a playlist.
But
I
was going to release because I got the very last night of the Fringe filmed, and I was supposed to be releasing that this week, but I might give it another couple of weeks. Because there's quite a lot of stuff about the Queen in it.
Is that? Like and it was before.
Yeah.
That is that dated terribly.
Yeah.
No,
it's dated terribly. In fact, well, I mean, it doesn't paint me in a good light. But
and the tense of it's going to be all wrong.
It is, it is.
Which is, I guess, the risk you run when you make jokes about 96-year-old women. So, you knew what you're signing up for, didn't you?
It's like my Twin Towers routine I used to do in September 21. This gold will run for years.
Yeah, grand. So I keep an eye out for Mark's new special, but you can actually still watch it. Yeah, you've got one on YouTube that's just available for free.
Yeah,
you can watch.
That's not dated at all.
If you haven't watched that already, absolutely class. You've got some catching up to do on his podcast. It's called Perfect Playlist, and I'm going to be joining Daniel on tour. So whatever his tour schedule is, that's mine. Also, I'm going to do a solo show in Aberdeen in October. So I check that out. I'll be adding some other solo shows here and there, but that's the first one I've plugged in is Aberdeen. Okay, see you all next week.